Katie from Real Food with Gratitude. Just wanted to come on here, kind of show you my overall meal prep. When I asked you guys if you did or did not meal prep, I heard a lot of responses. So I thought I would share a little bit about why I meal prep, how I meal prep, and how I make it easy. So I heard a lot of responses, a lot being not sure where to start, takes too long, don't want to eat the same thing every day, and just don't want to spend your Sunday doing meal prep. Totally understand that. So, and I'm very much the same way. I do not like eating the same thing every day. I used to be that person that would individualize each meal, and then by Friday, Thursday even, I wouldn't even want to eat it. So I end up eating out a lot, and then obviously would waste a lot of food. So now I save money. I'm actually able to eat healthy for almost every single meal, and I don't get sick of what I eat. So I wanted to show you guys how I go into the store without a list of crazy recipes, crazy ingredients that I'm probably only going to use 1-2 times. I find this works best for me because I'm able to throw meals together throughout the week. So instead of calling this a meal prep, you can call it more of a food prep. So let's kind of get into what I got. As you probably see, I do lemon water right before coffee every day. So I got a thing from Trader Joe's of just Meyer lemons. I like to have either my own homemade almond milk or cashew milk, or this is one of the only brands I like. It's Malk. It actually only has 3 ingredients in them: water, salt, and almonds. I got 1 protein, so this week I got chicken thighs. I do have eggs. I always have eggs in my fridge. So I go into the store with an idea of kind of what I want to eat, but of course I always have staples. Some of them include 2 different kinds of greens. This week I got spring mix and romaine. And then I always get 3 to 4, depending upon the week, vegetables. This week I got potatoes, a squash, a zucchini, some carrots, and then I actually was at Trader Joe's, so I picked up the shaved Brussels sprouts. So 9 out of 10 times I go into the store without a recipe. So how did I decide what I wanted to get? I go in, try to determine what's seasonal. That's why I got carrots, squash, things of that nature. I always make sure to have some type of either dairy or non-dairy cheese, some type of minimal ingredient, minimally processed dressing, or some type of sauce to make my food interesting. Obviously greens, my staple is always to get 4 avocados, and then I actually have potatoes for every single meal prep, almost always. And I always make sure to have bread. And I always like to have some type of snack. So if I do choose snacks, this is one of my staples. So when you get home, you don't want to just throw everything in the fridge or wherever it's gonna go. Because if this bag goes into my fridge like this, it's never leaving. So my thought is immediately when I get home, I'm gonna put everything away that can go into the pantry. Then I'm gonna take all of my veggies and get them prepped. So I'll show you in a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and take about half this bag and roast it up. And then take the zucchini and the squash, cut it up, as well as the potatoes, get those cooking while I get everything else in the fridge and the pantry, and then we'll go from there. Zucchini and carrots, have them all bake at the roast at the same time on one pan. So I'm going to quickly cut them all and throw it on the pan. Thrown into the colander. Same thing as the potatoes. A little oil, salt and pepper. Shake it on up. Get it all nice and coated. Throw it right on there. All right, you can see I have not cut these. So when you cut carrots before you cook them, it actually reduces the amount of nutrients. So I go ahead and put them not touching on the pan, and I'll sprinkle them with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then I'll just put this right into the oven for about 30 minutes, or until you can tell that these are a little bit caramelized. Alright, so we just put the potatoes in the air fryer. The carrots are cooking, a squash, and a zucchini. These are the shaved Brussels sprouts. I do not make these ahead of time just because I think they are best completely fresh. So because they're shaved, all I have to do is throw them in the wok or the saute pan while I'm heating everything else up. So these just stay in the fridge. You can tell that I didn't need this whole bag, but it will last till next week. So I'm just going to throw this in the fridge and make these next week if it's something that I want. You get the lettuce. Little trick. Make it last longer. Open it up. Paper towel. Put it right on in there. Close it up. And when you store it back in your fridge, you're going to store it upside down so that it lasts a little longer and stays a little more fresh. Alright, the other things that I'm going to leave in my fridge are onions, just to saute up if I'd like a little bit of extra flavor for any of my meals. My chicken, depending upon the week, what I'm doing, which type of protein I get, I will either cook it ahead of time or not. This week I decided to go with chicken thighs. Not something I really want to cook ahead of time, so I'm just going to keep this in the fridge and either make it 2 days ahead of time or whatever the case is. I also got some microgreens. These are just great added benefits for nutrients you can just add on top of your meals, and it looks pretty too. And romaine, I used to actually cut this ahead of time and put it in a bin, just like the other one, but I found out that it does go brown a little bit quicker. This is super easy to cut, so I just leave this in the fridge. And I'll typically add this along with the green mix when I use them because it's good to have a little mixture of texture with both lettuce. Alright, so meal prep, as I call it, food prep. You guys saw what I did. This is what we turned out to have. We have the roasted carrots, roasted zucchini and squash, the white sweet potatoes, and a little bit of chicken. So I have put them all in separate containers for a reason. I am not sure what I'm gonna want throughout the week. So one day I could want the potatoes, one day I could want the carrots, one day I might not want any of it and might wanna make something completely different out of all this stuff. So instead of making 5 individual contained meals, I just put all the ingredients separately in different containers so that I can decide at that moment what I want to eat.